Welcome back to H-Log Gaming. This week in Godforge episode 9. We got some semi-rare Saturday type leaks. Not like we never see them, but typically there's not a lot. So let's take a look at that. The first one is going to be from Discord. All right, here we have a concept of Amateras, I believe is how it was pronounced when I looked it up. She's the sun god, but more than that, she rules over the highest celestial plane within the Shinto religion, which is the main religion in Japan, if I recall correctly. Probably you're thinking, a powerful sun god, a damage dealer, but probably more akin to like a Zeus or a Odin, sort of a head god. It does say she also possesses the three relics. Are they relics? Let me look. Sacred objects, there we go. A mirror, a jewel, and a sword. The three imperial regalia of Japan. I don't know too much about these objects. I'm not going to try to pronounce the names either. But knowing a little bit about Japanese culture, not a ton, I'm guessing these three objects are kind of symbolizing different aspects of life to show that you need balance in all of them within your life to maximize your potential or, be the best person you can be. I don't know how you want to look at it, but overall balance is important within Japanese culture. Oh, I thought that was the shoulder, but I guess that's part of the design. We don't really see weapons here or the mirror. Maybe the headpiece. Let's see if we can zoom in. That could be the jewel that I was just talking about. I don't know the name, but it's part of, the imperial regalia. So that could be part of it. Certainly you can see a sword of some sort fitting within this concept, right? I don't know how big the mirror is supposed to be in mythology or where she would keep that, but it's kind of interesting. I guess we'll have to wait and see once we get more what we actually get. I'd think of this character as more of a leader than a damage dealer. Although you think of a lot of the head gods as being very strong, I'm sure this character will be. But I don't know. Is there sort of a lead support, if that makes sense? I'm trying to think of another character within a raid that would kind of fit that. That's strong but can also buff. I know they're out there. I just none of them are coming to mind. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe he can do some good single target damage, but then also put out some good buffs. That's kind of what I'm thinking based on the little bit I read so far. So this was put out in Discord. They made an announcement about they're doing another round of investing. So if you got big bucks, I don't know how, go to the Fateless site, get in touch with them somehow. I don't have any money. Otherwise, I would actually consider investing based on how this game is looking so far and who's involved. But so this was put out for that, just a little concept and an announcement. And then on Simon's channel for Hell Hades, he makes mention of it again, and we get a bit of a cutscene. Okay, so this is a bit of a cutscene Simon had playing behind him. While he was talking about, investment opportunities if you want to invest in this game and contact him directly. But anyways, let's take a look. I think I know who a lot of the people are, or have a guess. There's definitely some new stuff in here, so let's take a look.
The primal powers shattered the cosmos. From this cataclysm, a new reality emerged. One where gods and heroes wage endless war. These legends must be conquered and tamed. A new pantheon must be forged and tempered. You will be the hammer.
Okay, so this cat god right here is Beset, I believe. And then above it is the Sphinx. This is the one I really have no idea whatsoever. We'll go back, take a look. But you see its back when they're fighting Thor. I believe this is Thor. and I can't really tell there. So I don't have a good guess there. This, I believe, is Athena. I'll go back and you'll see snakes on her shield, which when I looked up, that was something that was kind of coming up regularly. It said that Medusa. So I wondered if this could be Medusa, but this doesn't look like snakes in her hair. So I was thinking maybe it's Nefertiti. The headpiece kind of looks the same, but it doesn't. So I'm not sure. This is Serenusos. I forget. I think that's how you say it. That's Pangu. That's Shamash, I believe is how you say it. I think that's Quetzalcoatl. And for the bat, I'm not sure. A few things I saw, or a few things I found that came up were Kanzot, Canazotz, a Mayan god. Also, Tzinacan, a Mayan god. They're both bats. You know, not the same, but similar. And then also Shesh, Seshessh. I think I'm spelling these all correctly. A goddess, an Egyptian goddess. That's a bat. I do think this is male though, so that's my like least likely guess. Let me know down below what you think, but let's go back and take a look at this guy closer and this person closer. So yeah, you see here this guy. I don't know. This is kind of giving me Aztec type vibes, but other than that, I don't really have a good guess just based on this. And then here, this is what made me think it could be Athena. You see these snakes, or it looks like snakes here on the edge. Now, I didn't find a shield like that, but when I Googled snake shield, Medusa and Athena kept coming up. Maybe this is part of Medusa's skin or part of her head or something that Athena took after she killed her. I don't know if she did kill her. I mean, also, this game could just be making up part of their own lore based on it, you know? But I do think that's Athena. That's my guess for that. I don't have a guess for that other dude. And then her, I also am not sure. Like I said, it could be Nefertiti. The headpiece, maybe. I'm not sure. That looks like hair, doesn't look like snakes, and I wouldn't think Medusa, because also Medusa has a body of a snake unless they changed it. We'll have to see once she's in game. So those are my two big question mark: who she is and who this guy is. If you got any guesses, let me know down below. All right. Not sure what we'll have after this because this is an unexpected leak. It'll either be, a bit of a Monday leak or the Tuesday normal video. Oh my god, there was so much good stuff in this video. I just woke up and I'm watching this, and to me, I sound a little funny. Sometimes you wake up, you sound funny. So excuse me if that's happening. I was actually pretty tired, but man, watching this really woke me up. So we'll see if I can keep the energy up through my little breakdown, but let's take a look. So first of all, we'll just take a look at the characters he showed that are new. Well, we have seen Rob before, but he shows his little his break move, I guess. I forget what they call it. Sorry, I'm too excited. But so that's pretty cool, but here's but I think that's Dracula right there. So that's the first time I think we've seen that portrait. I'm not sure who this is. That might be somebody new. That's Hercules. I think this is Hades. And then above it is so I believe this is Artemis and then this is Anubis. But yeah, I think that's the first time we've seen this portrait and I don't know who this is. But looking good. I think that's Hell right there. Like I said, that's Hercules. I can't tell who that is. But yeah, that's some. And then like he was saying here, look how smooth the camera's working. That's pretty good, right? For I don't know if they'd consider this alpha still, because they said, in that one video, beta is like 70% done. But that's pretty smooth, so that's very cool. Okay, so you can see that person now. Okay, I believe that's Isis. Oh, he'll show this in a second, but you'll have to take my word that I didn't re-record this, but I was right that it is Athena. So that's Shamash or Shamash. I always forget how you say it, if it's SH or HS. Who is that? Is that King Arthur, maybe? Looks kind of like it, right? Okay, then I think this is Yanlu Yanlu Wang, I think is how you say it. That god from the Jade who doesn't really have eyes, and then the eyes are in his helm. Oh, that's oh man, look at all this. That's Odin. What is this guy's name? I think it's Fisher King. Let me look. Yeah, that's the Fisher King. Let's take a look to try and figure out who these two are. So I believe that's Horus. I can't tell. He does click on the Sphinx later. I think this might be the Sphinx portrait. Okay, so that's what Freya looks like. Very cool. Oh, I don't know if I said, but I believe this is Aphrodite. So let's take a look at this. I mean, even if they didn't get animations, which they're obviously trying to, wouldn't you say the quality of this game, the visual fidelity, is on par with Raid, if not better? Like, look at the wings. Like, I'll say, like, the art style's a little bit different, right? But the body is comparable. But I don't know if the characters with wings in Raid look this good. Their wings, that is. So that's definitely a step up to me. So that's just, man, this is crazy. This is just wild this morning to see all this. And we still have till May, till the beta. Like, I don't know if I can take it. I don't know if I could wait that long. Like, I'm not, I don't know. I can't think about it this long, and too much anticipation, man. Okay, so that was the Sphinx. Hopefully it puts it back up. We'll see. Okay. I don't know who this is. That looks new. Um, is that Zeus? I think so. Let me take a look. Yeah, that was Zeus. Yeah, so this epic is Brunhild. So this epic here is Osiris, I believe. This one might be Leonidas. I'm not very sure on that one, but I don't think it's Achilles, because what we've seen so far, Achilles has a open face, but Leonidas is closed, so that's why I think it might be him. This appears to be Ran from the Asgard. Let's see if he scrolls down more. I don't remember. He does. Okay, yeah. So that looks like Achilles there. Or wait, is that Leonidas and that's Achilles? So yeah, I don't know who that is then. That's Musashi. We've seen him a bunch, used a bunch in all these videos, you know. This one's a little hard to see, but it's Set. I don't know who these two are, so let me take a look, see if I can figure that out. Oh, there's the Green Knight. You can barely see it, but that's clearly the Green Knight. Yeah, I can't figure out who these two are, so these might be new reveals. I don't think he clicks on them, but at least we see the portraits. Yeah, Green Knight. Man, look at all this. That's Beowulf. That might be Gilgamesh. I'm not sure. Could be. That's my guess. Don't know who this is either. Maybe Guinevere? I'll throw out that as my guess. Not very confident on that one though, but that's my guess so far as people we know are in game. And we haven't really seen her in game, I don't believe. So that could be her. This is the daughter of Nefertiti. I don't remember how you're saying her name, like Ankeshaman or something like that. I'm butchering that, but that's definitely her, Nefertiti's daughter. This is Aslog, I think is how you say it. Let's see if he scrolls down more so we can see these a little better. Okay, there we go. Oh, you can see these ones down here too. Okay, let's go through those. So that's Lady Zox. That's Guang Yu, I believe is how you're saying these. I don't know who this is. We know we have Ramses, but his face isn't gold. Any Moptep? I'm not sure how you say it, but that doesn't look like him either. So possibly a new member of the Aru faction we're seeing here. I think that might be Icarus. Let me go check. Yeah, that's Icarus. Yeah, I don't know who those are. Those look to be. That looks kind of Asgard, or not Asgard, Avalon. And then this looks almost like Olympus, but I'm not sure who they are. This might be Hippolyta, but I still don't have a guess for who that is. See, so that's clearly Ramses right there. So yeah, I don't know who that is. I believe he clicks on the Minotaur here, though. Yeah, look how crazy that looked, man. Sorry for all these quick cuts, too. I'm trying to get this all in quickly. All right, we'll take a look at Zulong here in a minute. Let's see if we can figure out who this is. Pretty sure I know who that is. I don't know who that is. So that's Saris, I believe you see it. Is how you say it, or CRS, I'm not sure. This is Vidar, I believe. I think this is Tristan. And then let's take a look at the body of Zulong. He doesn't have any animations yet, but still looks very cool. Okay, that's Dagnate. I think that's how you say it. So this is just the mummy. This is new, I believe. This looks kind of like Avalon, right? Gives you almost Merlin vibes, but clearly is not Merlin. This is just a knight. I think this is Kanichi. I think that's how you say it. There's an Amazon warrior that's part of Olympus. I think that's this character. And then this is the Neiman lion, I believe, which is also part of Olympus. Yeah, clearly a lion. Yeah, Dagonate, not Dagnate. Okay. Here he's just showing how they have sort of the mechanics to build the characters up. All right, here you see the different skills. That's interesting. So basic, core, ultimate, passive. Obviously, we'll be able to level them up somehow. I don't think they've revealed exactly how we'll do that, if it's just gold. It is interesting, this little scroll thing right here. Wonder if you have to kind of, like you would get books in Raid, they have scrolls. We'll have to wait and see. All right, I skipped to the end because he shows some more character stuff. I just want to see if there's anyone I missed over here and just show you the people he clicks on, and then we'll go back to the other stuff he's talking about. So Dagnate again. Yeah, we saw all these people over here. Guang Yu. We have seen him before. Oh, okay, so I was right. That was, however you say that, Hippolyta. That doesn't sound right, but okay. Yeah, there you go. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but you see how that is. But she's the daughter of Nefertiti, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Pandora. Okay. Interesting. I don't know who that is. Hold on, let me check. So that is a new reveal. Unless I'm missing somewhere in my notes, or ragewoodgaming.com, which I use as, more of a main source in my notes as a backup, but that appears to be a new reveal. Okay. Let's see who else he clicks on. Horus, we've seen that before. We've seen his animations before. That was pretty early on, that sort of jump attack. Okay, let's go back and look at some other stuff he showed. So this is sort of their roadmap, where they're at for, I don't know if it's just the beta, I believe so, but pretty cool to see, right? They got the upgrade, working equipment, tooltips, all that stuff is good. Hero card summon, he does talk about that. All right, here he clarified some stuff, and I definitely got some stuff wrong. He clarified that this attunement right here is for the faction, and then this is for the character. So my guess that this is heart-shaped and kind of health, strength, things of that nature was wrong. It just has to do with the faction, and then this has to do with the character. And I believe he said as you attune it up, it affects this ability, the one that's the constant ability on the weapon, not the imprinted ability. And he did clarify this is just a placeholder right here. And, eventually it'll be Avalon. And then you would attune Excalibur to Arthur to get the full attunement. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. He did say uh, if you have an imprint and you put a new one on it, the imprint is lost. So I was saying how this kind of reminds me of the blessing system, but I guess not really because you'll lose it. He didn't mention if you can pay to take it off. It doesn't sound like they're going to do that. So obviously with rares and maybe even epics, you can be a little bit more casual and not have to worry about it as much because you'll be able to test one and you go, that didn't work. You could put it back. If you have an extra copy, that's very important. You need a copy of the hero to do it. But yeah, we're going to have to be a lot more careful with legendaries, right? Because legendaries, obviously this game will progress. There'll be more legendaries, more ways to get them, so it won't be as bad. But for a while, you're going to have to be pretty careful, even if you get a dupe, what you put it on, because you can't undo it. Okay, here's an example of what it looks like when it's equipped. Normally this would show Excalibur and then the Avalon symbol there. He clarified, this is just a placeholder. It should be Avalon because it's for Arthur. Here he's just showing the sort of the leveling up process of weapons, and then he goes to an example of deconstructing so you can kind of see how much you get when you deconstruct. He also shows some different weapons, so we'll pause it there and take a look. Here's just showing the screen how you do the imprinting, put the weapon there and then the imprint there. Here you can see the actual imprints. So clearly here we have, I believe that's Anubis. What's that? That's Odin, Zeus, and then that looks kind of like Leonidas. But I believe when he puts it on, it's Susanu or however you say it. I'm not sure. Oh, that does say Leonidas. Huh, okay. But yeah, he's kind of showing that off here. Essentially warning you there's no going back. And once you use it, it's gone. Oh, interesting. It said Leonidas, but here it does say that Susanu. I think he did say this is correct, and as far as the ability goes, but then it has Leonidas's picture right there. So assume, for now, what we know, this ability is correct, and this is just a placeholder image. All right, here we kind of see the breakdown. I imagine these are just placeholder. I wouldn't think you would get the same for a legendary and an epic. 20 right now for both. That's probably going to change, but you get to kind of see how it works. You click over here, clear, you can clear them all out, and then confirm when you want to get rid of them. All right, here we go. We see we got Excalibur. I think that's Kusanagi is how you say that. Could be wrong. Mjolnir, Spearbreaker, Svanya, I think is how you say that. Not sure how you say that. It's kind of hard to tell because, you can see better in this one where it's highlighted. It's a sword. This is the handle right here, and there's the blade, and then there's kind of this weird star thing. In reality, I don't think anyone's actually going to do that. That'd make the sword pretty hard to use, but it looks cool for the game, right? This is something different back here, but I can't tell what it is. Yeah, so he talks about here, the weapon index. You can see what you already found, and I'll actually let it play. He clicks on it, and then I believe he clicks on the information. Yeah, and it tells you where you can farm that. So that's very useful if you want to go to it that way. You don't have to kind of hunt and peck for it. Oh, yeah, so look. Clearly, King Arthur. So that was Arthur's portrait. So this part's actually pretty cool. This is Brunhild, and he's going to show, he'll click on these skills down here, and it actually gives a picture and a description of what the skill does. So you can actually see what it kind of looks like. That's pretty cool, man, because Ray doesn't really have anything like that. A game I've talked about before that I played, Marvel Future Fight, they have sort of a test mode where you can go in, but you have to go into it to see the skills. Here, you just go to the character on the hero card and you click on it, you can see. So that's a huge time saver if you just want to see stuff. Here's sort of the end screen. I believe this is stage 10 normal, so towards the end. As you can see, 25 runs, 450 energy. That comes out to 18 energy per run. I doubt it's going to be 18 per stage, so I think there's kind of a 3x on this. I bet it's going to be 6 because that math works out. But these are kind of placeholders because I doubt everyone did 21 million damage and then 1.4 million on shields. And again, I would like it if this was green and then this was blue. Just my preference. He did talk about this too. You can share literally a post of your team to socials or within the game to your clans, but they're not called clans. We'll actually take a look at that in a second. I forget what they're called. Okay, so he said guilds is what's next, what they're working on, but he said they're going to call them pantheons, that's a Greek word. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that'll be sort of the system of clans or guilds where you can communicate and work together. Pretty interesting here. I don't know if these are placeholders, but it looks like we're seeing some characters from in-game, right? And that's about it. So let's get to Thursday's podcast. All right, this is not the Thursday podcast. We're getting even more info this week, tons of stuff. This is for 25,000 Discord members. Kenshin, I believe is how you say that, from the Kojiki. I was actually thinking this would be rare, but looks like it's going to be epic. I couldn't find anything super specific on just Kenshin. There was a few different things I found, but they all seem to be swordsmen, which fits here. So I guess they're kind of taking the different people throughout mythology that have had that as part of their name and kind of combining it. Melee unit, obviously with the weapon, looks pretty cool. You can see like let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there you go. You can see it looks like a dragon head and probably fire coming out of its nose or mouth or something for the sword. Okay, that's just the quick and dirty for that. So let's get to the video that also came out today. Okay, so there's a huge giveaway, as you can see, paused here. Simon and the team are sponsoring Method, which I guess is an esports team. They're racing on some new content in World of Warcraft. I haven't played World of Warcraft in years, so I couldn't say what it is. But the big deal here is the PC has I don't know what that is, an elf of some sort there. It looks pretty cool. I'm not sure on the specs, but if it's, $2,500, it's probably not a bad PC. And apparently when they did this last year, somebody within the Fateless community, maybe even a content creator, I forget what he said, won it. But, lots of stuff there, headset, keyboard, desk chair, some other goodies. I don't know what that is. Jerseys if you want that. Surf Shack, okay. Interesting. Okay. I'll try to put the link down to that below, but the main part for this is there's a little bit of a snippet of this cinematic, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so we see some type of battlefield. We got Brunhild. Can't tell who that is in the background. I think this represents the Godforge. That might be somebody from the Kajiki or the Jade. I think that's Ra. And Brunhild's attacking Ra. And then we see that same person attack something in the Godforge. And it comes out March 19th, so make sure you're subscribed to the Fateless channel to see that. I'll be breaking it down as well if you want to come here and take a look. I did want to go over one part slowly. So this part here, we have this character, whoever this might be, pulls out a weapon. I'll try to pause it. So that right there, I was thinking, I looked in the Aru faction because I remember seeing this weapon somewhere, but I cannot for the life of me find it. So if you remember where this came from or maybe know who this is based on the weapon, let me know. But if this is part of the Godforge, I'm not sure, that's a guess, and they're destroying it, uh, is it to stop more gods from coming into the world causing destruction, because we saw earlier there was a battlefield and we saw Broomhild attacking what I think is Ra. So is this person trying to stop more gods from other worlds coming into their world? Is that part of the story? Okay, that's about it for this sneak peek on Wednesday. Hopefully the next thing will be the Thursday podcast, but the way this week's going, you never know. We could get something else tonight. Okay, well, there was almost another leak today, or rather, the day I recorded the previous segment. They released this on Instagram. I don't have Instagram, so I'm capturing this from the web, so hopefully it looks all right. It's a VFX for Raw, one of his skills, so let's take a look. Okay, that was it. Looks pretty cool. Let's get to Thursday's podcast. Okay, so this is the Thursday podcast. This week it's about VFX. We have Chosen as always, or Brad, as some of you may know him. Dirk, Dan, and then Brian. He seems to be somewhat of a new employee according to Brad. I think the big takeaway on this is, in some form or fashion, these guys work on the VFX of skills as opposed to a few weeks ago, when we saw Esther, I believe she was doing VFX more on the character model. So I think that's kind of the difference between what these people do and what we saw a few weeks ago. They kind of talk about the ins and outs of it. There's not a lot of information as far as if you want to know more about the beta or specific skills or characters, things of that nature. But they do show a little bit about 6 minutes in, so I will go there and we will show that while I talk about it. Okay, so this is where it starts. Dan's controlling it. He's going to pull up a board they show here in a minute. That is their, I forget if he calls it inspiration or influences, but it's sort of a, pre-concept board. They look at games they like and things of that nature and kind of say what part of these skills do we want, how do we want to include it. Not in this part, but later, a specific issue they mention is actually when you try and make something look more realistic than making your own skill. It can be much easier to take somebody out of the game when you try and make something look like, a burning fire with smoke. If it looks very artificial, right? We've seen that in real life, so it'll catch our eye and it'll take us out of the game, as opposed to if you're just making up your own energy blast technique or something, they have more free reign to do what they want because you don't see that in real life, so it's not something you would look at and go, oh, that doesn't look real. Then they just kind of talk about the process overall, which we're a little bit familiar with, because Brad's talked about how he does sort of the character design stuff, and then it'll go to different teams. And that's for building the character. It's also similar here for the skills. It sounds like they'll kind of go back and talk to Brad and see what he thinks about it. But I'll kind of shut up here for a second because I think this is where they show it. Oh, maybe not yet. But he's pulling it up right now. So let's just wait and we'll cut to that. Oh, here we go. So that looked pretty cool, right? The spears kind of coming down and then dissolving, There you go. And that's really about all we see that they show. They just talk about more of the process and sort of what they like as far as their own personal skills, like what they like to see in the game and things of that nature and the overall process. I'm kind of trying to keep it short because this video is already pretty long. So let's wrap it up here. And If there's something on Friday, I'll tag it on at the end, and if not, I'll do a little outro. Okay, well, there was no Friday leak. I'm not sure if I'm gonna switch these up more to a semi-daily thing. Maybe call it like the Godforge Gazette or something, because these videos are getting pretty long, and I like to keep them shorter. I do know there's another leak they gave us next Friday, so I'll have at least 2 videos. You know, probably at least this week in Godforge still, where I try and figure out how I want to do that. And then whatever leak they gave us, I haven't looked yet, so I can't even give you guys a little hint on what it might be. Um, Due to how many leaks there were, I'm just gonna leak Fateless's YouTube page overall down below instead of each individual video. I'm also gonna link to that contest if you want to enter. On a related note, if you watch Mr. Sneaky, he said if he wins it, he's gonna give it away on his channel. So possibly 2 chances to win. So go check him out if you want a possible another chance. Also, he makes some pretty good videos. And if you made it this far, this week was kind of hectic for me. Had a lot going on, so I know some of the edits aren't the best. I wanted to re-record some stuff. I just didn't have the time. I'll try and, make sure the quality stays good or step it back up. And if you do like what I'm doing, if you wouldn't mind throwing me a thumbs up and even subscribing, it would help. Again, I'm trying to get 1 subscriber a week. Haven't really even been able to do that, but whatever. I'm going to keep plugging away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.